All right, let's do this. 1 week. Actually, 1 week from today, I will be already working on the second one, but the first one will be released. And so that's where we will be in a week, but and I'm hoping that I'll have it done by now. And I'm gonna keep you guys abreast boobies. I'm gonna keep you guys boobied on pretty much every step of the way. I'm not gonna shy away from that. We were actually talking. I was talking with Figgy about this progression and the journaling and everything like that. That this is. This is actually, the most amazing thing about the morning commutes, which I've not seen anybody do. It's really weird because video journaling, which is what we're doing here, isn't even a thing. And I mean, it seems like it's very familiar. I would say. I would think. Because people talk about things all the time, while they're like playing games and everything like that. And I'm just basically doing the same thing while I'm driving. But what we have is a kind of like a what's going on, and even though it's not in real time, it feels like it's in real time. That was open. It feels like it was in real time. And I mean, you're getting everything. You're basically getting everything. These don't get edited, I think, is probably what the main thing about it is. I don't send them to an editor, and we don't pick out what we think are the most poignant points that I make, or take out my my ums. Or long pauses like I just did. But you still get, I mean, we're getting into 800 videos. And we're going to almost go to the third playlist. People don't know. don't know how circles work. going to be copycatters because I don't have a lot of viewers, and this doesn't garner views. Why would somebody copy? See, was it 4 years now? 4 years ago, they thought I was just like naive and dumb and stupid, or I don't know what the fuck they thought I was. But a lot of people were giving me advice, which I loved. I loved the advice. The advice was good. I actually learned a lot from the advice that people give me. But people got mad at me because I wasn't following everything that they said. I wasn't doing what they wanted me to be doing, or what they thought I should be doing, I should say. And I understand that it came from, their advice and the things that they said, and, came from their own personal experience and what they knew, and how to help. And some people were fairly, big in the industry. When I started this channel, I had another channel that I basically kind of poked the bear with, to find out how to do videos. And it didn't take off, so I didn't pursue it, I guess. I still don't know why I gave it up. And that's going to be celebrating its 15th year anniversary soon. That channel still exists. It's still up. I actually changed it so that it would be easier to find, but even Figgy was like going, "Are you sure you want to be associated?" I'm like, yeah. Yeah. I don't know why I didn't use that channel. I could have used that channel to be doing this. I think this channel is just more convenient. And I can't even begin to tell you, but I can tell you that when I 4 years ago, when I was starting out, starting up a 7-year-old channel, when, 7 years prior to that, when I was starting up this channel, I was, basically the newbie. With people, and they all were giving advice. And I think that that's what set into motion why I do the things that I do for this channel. I think that set the standard for me. Because we were doing everything right. We were doing everything right. Had very experienced people, very experienced streamers and everything like that, involved in the project. It was already going to be sketch comedy. We already had written a lot of stuff. I mean, we already had more stuff than, because we were only going to be a weekly show. We already had more stuff than would have taken. We could have done several years worth. 52 episodes a year. Not live. was meant to be kind of a behind the scenes. I've said that a million times. This was going to be like kind of pulling the veil back, talking about skits and things like that, and just basically general ideas. I don't know if it was going to be like a morning commute or whether it was going to be me basically walking around. You guys see me like struggle in the writer's room, stuff like that. I was not meant to be an actor. I was not meant to be a personality. Background at most, the idiot they ask a question to, if that was part of the skit, like a passerby. Whatever. I was just basically like going, they're kind of like throwback. Maybe a dead body. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know what I would have been. I would have been like whatever they needed me to be. Alien. It's funny, I wrote a lot of different sketches, and I still don't know what, whether we were going to be like themed or serial or, one-offs. I didn't know what everybody was planning on doing, and I think that should have been the flag. It should have been the flag, basically saying like, "Yeah, this isn't going to work out. Don't put any more into it." I think what really sealed the deal was that most people had their own channels. They already had, the thing that was earning them money and everything like that. And I think they thought it was a good idea. I don't know where, if they've lost or became disillusioned by the whole project. I don't know where, but when everybody wanted to just become producers and nobody wanted to become, the stars of it, is what basically killed it. And, we struggled to try to get it up and running, because the thinking was, if we got the show up and running and doing its thing, I wasn't even filming. Just to give you guys an idea, I wasn't even filming this. My channel was just empty. I was more focused on the main channel. And when we couldn't get anybody to basically do it, and I remember when they looked at me, and I'm like, I thought you guys were supposed to be the stars. It's like, if you wanted to write, give me something. You want to produce. Don't expect it to all fall into place. we give directors, because the director's vision and blah 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 and all that other bullshit. But we give directors like an entire so much credit and stuff like that for why films are made, but there's an entire thing that happens, and a director alone cannot. A really good director can get a film made no matter what the circumstances are, and I'm not going to say that can't happen, but to make a really great movie, you can't depend on just the director. If that makes sense. But you could definitely live without producers. I mean, other than money. If money wasn't the issue, then you could live without producers. The crew is everything. You have a good solid crew, you could do pretty much anything. And I thought that's what we had. 7 years later, after basically giving up on it, I had already given up on drawing. People forget that I had given up for about a decade doing any type of art. And the closest thing that I had to doing an art project was painting miniatures. And I wasn't even doing that well, just so you know. Wasn't even doing that. But that's the closest thing that I had in my 10-year break from doing any artwork. Closest thing that I had from doing, sorry, ambulance just passed, was painting miniatures. And like I said, my miniature painting used to be a lot better, and I think when I was doing the miniature painting back into 40K, I was just kind of like slop dabbing it, which remind me of how I started. So I was spray painting a parking lot at a convention. It is how my works. I don't know know if orcs were always green. I think they were more gray. When I first started, I do remember that the they were kind of gray. But yeah, I wasn't really painting. Well, I spray painted in the parking lot and basically spray painted them purple. Because it was the one color that I could get. From, I want to say it was Ace Hardware. It was someplace. It wasn't like a Home Depot. It was like a mom and pop shop. And literally, they were like looking at me like I was gonna go tagging. So yeah, I had like, it looked like I was wearing purple gloves because I spray painted crazy. Still wet, still like tacky. I had my army and left little purple rings and things and purple fingerprints everywhere, and it was, what a mess. And that came about because I had never played the game before. Somebody gave me, and I don't know, maybe they would have to, because lots of things freaking transpired. Maybe they're gonna say that I stole the orcs from them. Who knows? But it was all craziness, all manners of craziness going on, and so I was given these orcs, and I made up a freaking battle sheet, or stats sheet, or whatever you want to call those things. I didn't even know how to play the game. Just like looking at how to do the whole thing, and I went to enter my army, and they said only painted figures. So I gathered up my forces, and we went driving around. And I think it might have been an Ace Hardware. It was whatever. But we didn't find a hobby shop or anything like that. It was a very limited thing, and I didn't even think to grab green spray paint. I grabbed purple because it's my favorite color. I grabbed purple spray paint. I grabbed 2 cans, and there were a few other people with actual brushes and actual paints too, because they were doing painting at the convention. was in the parking lot, spray painting these, little works that I got. They all look kind of the same, and then somebody gave me I think it was like a metal color and a fat fucking brush. I mean, wasn't when I say fat, I mean like it was like that. It was like to cover like large areas. I wasn't doing detail work. Yeah, and so basically I took the silver that they gave me and it went to the weapon, to the weapon, to the gun, to the axe that the orcs had, and some parts on their thing to basically separate. So it was like a silver uniform. I think I might have some. I definitely think I might have some of those laying about. Still, I might have painted over, but I might still have a couple of the originals. It's still painted like that. I never was. Oh my God! You think that with all the things that I was doing, that I would be like this, grand freaking miniature painter, and I wasn't. You'd think that I was, but I had almost like no interest in it at all. I mean, even to this day, lucky that half my army was painted. But I did go through a kind of a renaissance, which is why most of the original orcs that I had got kind of painted over, because I painted a lot of, I spent a lot of time painting. And those would have, painting tutorials would have been so great to do, and blah, 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 blah. But nope, I didn't do that. Instead, you get me doing a 5-minute freaking painting video, and, just what a fucking mess that turned out to be. I still have that one. But yeah, I'll look for some silver armor. Some silver armored orcs, so I'll bring it in for show and tell. Yeah. As always, cool beans. Comments below. It doesn't have to be cool beans. It can be whatever you like, and wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're having a fantastic time doing it. All right, take care of yourself. And this is just because it's Wednesday, it's technically my Friday. And because it's my Friday, I won't talk to you guys until Saturday. Yay! But then it'll be 5 days. 5 days. 5 days until October starts. It's coming quick. I'll talk to you guys soon.